Hello and welcome everyone into today's daily stock market update. This is Big Bull here, and today we're going to talk about some of the key ETFs in the market and the watches that I made for FOMC day tomorrow. So let's get right into it. So guys, by looking at SPY daily chart, price, did made some, pretty big swings on intraday time frame, and then we were able to catch a piece of it and downside and some of the upside too. But what's next coming to SPY? Let's find out. For that, let's look at let's go to futures chart here. As you can see on a 4 hour, price is in this supply zone, and then it's a long weekly action. So up, price already moved up a lot from the bottom, so I'm expecting price to go into this supply zone once, and then this is where I would initiate a short position, and with the target of at least a 50% retracement of this move here, which could be around 44.80, 44.85, or even potentially new lows here, right? So but with the stop loss at 45.10, and then by looking at SPY, the same levels comes out to be at a clean level 445. Price stays below, I'm gonna stay short. We break above it, and then we have 447, 43, and then potentially gap fill in play, and this is where is another supply zone. If let's say after FOMC price goes up and then closes into this supply zone, then this is where I would take another short position with the targets of 445 again, right? And then if we break this lows, and then that is where my initial target was around 433, right? So definitely anything can happen with FOMC, so you definitely manage your risk, and then if you don't need to trade, do not trade, because the big moves usually comes after the FOMC day or in the last hour. So manage your risk, protect your capital, and then trade smart. Now let's look at Qs real quick. Qs looks like the same setup as SPY. I'm watching 371.75 level. We break out of this level, and then I think it can recover all the losses from Friday, and then as long as we stay below this one, the deal, we are going to new lows, right? So price is kind of in this 4-hour range here. So either we break out on any side, there is no reason to trade if you are in the chop, and especially with the FOMC day coming up. IWM, guys, it's looking one of the weakest out there, and then it finally broke down of this massive head and shoulders. So the more time price is gonna stay below this trend line, the higher chances that we can see another waterfall sell-off in the indices. So if IWM is start to breaking down, and that means there are higher chances that we can see lower prices in the rest of the market too. So I'm watching 181 level on IWM. We break it, then 180 and 178.50 are my next targets on IWM. And we have XLF banking ETF, sideways section on this one. Not really, there's nothing much going on. So I'm watching this 34.85 level. Let's clear the charts up. I'm watching this 34.86 and this prior lows around 34.52. Anytime any price in between is a chop city, and then breaks out, and then we can trade the upside, and then we breaks lower, we can trade the downside with a gap fill, and this is the next demand around 34.29, where we can see a small bounce and then dump again, right? So that's how I'm planning to play XLF, and because XLF one of the names that moves a lot on FOMC days. And then we have our semis ETF. Semis ETF, definitely not a good look compared to other names out there. So again, still in this 4-hour range here. So and then but it's bouncing off this demand zone. Already had a bounce once. If we break this lows, that means that demand is invalid, and then we can head lower to 143.30 support level, which is definitely a big one. And then if we zoom out, we can definitely see also a massive head and shoulders forming on this one too, with the little to no support below 143.30, turning on our volume profile, and then you can see a massive volume gap to below this level. So definitely we break this, and then we can quickly go back to 127 on semis, and then I'll be watching Nvidia, AMD. If we do break this lows, that means AMD and Nvidia can see some fresh lows too on the break of this semis ETF. Let's see if we can find one more. ARC. ARC is definitely hit our targets to the dot, and then we expect the price to go into this demand zone. It did go and then started bouncing. Now look at hourly time frame. Looks like it's bear flagging again, and then there's no buy signal for me on any time frame yet. So I do think we can see one more low on ARC before any bounce to basically short it back down. So because daily structure is bearish, weekly is bearish. So as if they're not changing, there is no reason for me to turn bullish on this ARC names, which can be Roku, Coin, ETSY, Rivian, all these crap out there, which are making no money. So I'm just gonna keep shorting them on every single part. All right, guys. So now let's talk about some of the key names that I'm watching, for tomorrow in FOMC. Again, I do expect a chop, for first couple of hours, and once we get the rate hike, the final move that we get in the final, in the last 1 hour, and then the big move, definitely get a day after the FOMC. So if you want to set out on FOMC day, that'd be totally fine, because I don't think you're gonna be missing out on much of the action, or just come back in the last hour. I have some of the names in my green list. Um, let's see. eBay is a number one, which is a bear flag breakdown on it, but not high volume breakdown. But this I can see this evening star pattern breaking down new lows. Made some new lows. So I'm definitely watching this 43.31 level. Once it's breakdown, I do expect price to make new lows here around 42.82 is the next level that I'm watching. And then coin bearish engulfing on high volume, right? A bear flag that we're watching finally broke down. So two ways I'm going to play this one. So either I'm going to play on the retest of this prior level, which is 79.66, or if price starts to breaking down today's low, then that would also be a good short. So that's the two ways I'm watching coin to go short or not. Right, does look like a good startup to me. And let's take a quick look at the BTC, how it's doing. Oh, BTC is actually pumping on some high volume. So it'll be interesting to see what coin does tomorrow. Triple M's, we shorted this one today for almost, I think, 40-45%, but I think it's not done yet. This huge red candle, followed by small candles on some, same kind of volume, and then we have this gap to fill. This nowhere in demand. So I think one more dump is coming to Triple M's, fill this gap, or we'll probably go lower. So my key levels are this 100, a cycle level. As if it breaks 100, I'm gonna get into puts again with a target of a gap fill and 98. So 99, 24, and 98, are my targets for the downside on Triple M's. Nike's, the only reason Nike's on my list is price broke down again this couple I would say a week range, broke down, retested it going down, and also it's a high volume breakdown too, and then price is in this is just a huge gap, right? So they can just push it lower and lower, because on I would say on the 4-hour time frame, or even any time frame, I don't see a buy signal yet, unless price starts to moving back above 98, which is far above right here. So definitely looking very weak chart. So on high watch. Square, man, this thing the way it's looking, it should open at -5% tomorrow, and we did take some short positions just by looking at the volume. Look at the volume here on this breakdown today. huge level breakdown, this prior prior October breakdown, and then closed below it on some high volume. And then if we look on the left, there is no demand zone up until around 45.72. So definitely expecting a weak day for Square going forward too, or even just weak end of this one. Even if we get a bounce, I think it's gonna sell off end of the week either way, and to hit my target is 43.57. TSM, as we saw, semis charts, looking bad. SMH, looking bad here. And then looking at TSM is one of the top plays beside AMD. We have a gap to fill, price is not in demand, and then it's price slowly breaking down. Just huge volume came into this supply zone, on the daily supply zone rejected, and then just finding its way lower here, gonna fill this gap most likely. So I'm watching this one, and then let's look at Affirm finally giving up, and it's down almost 5% on the day, and then it looks like it formed a supply on some bigger time frames. Let's look at hourly. Yes, formed some supply zones right here on hourly. So, and then also made a new lows. The structure broke, so high chances that this pumps definitely gonna get sold back down to the new lows here, because prices just kept going up off the bottom, and then I guess 13 or 15 green days back to back on this one, and up 85% without a significant pullback. So high chances we can see a nice red days back to back on this name. AMC, I'm watching the upside. For that, I'm watching this key level 855, because that's when the structure is gonna change, and then it can squeeze higher to 9, or even if it enters this zone, AMC, then we can see really nice squeeze on AMC, because there's no supply in this zone. Once it breaks, weekly structure change, and then boom, higher. So definitely should be in your watch list if it starts breaking out higher. Also looks like a downtrend or a flag, or a wedge is already broke out. And looking at the daily, some volume coming in too, right? And then it's down a lot too. It's not like it's not down. It is down almost 86%. So a quick bounce or squeeze, definitely expected here. CCL price is just in this box, consolidating, and then I expected it to break down, today, but it did not break down, but instead, formed this bearish candle, and then I'm still watching the same level 1492 we break, and then we have this hourly demand below us. There's a lot of room down on this one. Not GM. Google's, I'm watching both sides. Looks like price is consolidating in this bearish pattern here, right? In the rising wedge, and then I'm watching this 137. I'm setting an alert at 137. Once we break the 137, easy targets to 135.80, and the next target would be 134, and then the upside I'm watching 140 breaks, and then we have this small gap to fill and a daily supply, where I would initiate a long-term short on Google, because Google is did not see any significant pullback compared to SPY. So once it hit this level, this daily supply, I think is gonna ready to go down. JPM still in this 4-day range here. Good to watch this range. If you're looking for a day trade, I think JPM is a good one. In the sideways range, we break higher, and we break 150, we go to 151.35, or even potentially go to this daily supply zone above. We break lower, and then that is the only demand zone I see. So a big move can come on JPM once it is out of this range. So definitely watching it closely here. Charles Schwab, no, not this one. Guys, targets I'm definitely watching for a day trade here. Prior lows break down, retested it, and inside day, and then if we break 118.55 again, I think we can see another huge dump on this one with the targets of 160, 116, 76, and 115. So definitely, a really clean setup on the daily chart if we break the lows. VZ, the reason VZ is in my watch list is because it's a slow mover, and we can trade in the money puts on this one. And if you look at on the daily, price started forming this new trend here, higher lows and then higher highs. Broke this prior highs, so that means bulls are in bulls were in control. But right now, I think it's in no man's zone here. So price did make an lower highs, and then if we break this prior lows, the bear is going to be back in control, and then it just game over for them again, right? So for the bulls, 33.23 level I'm watching break down, and then another round of sell-off can come to this telecom names or telecommunications names. So break 33.23, 32.78 is my next target on this one. So that's about it for today, guys. Hope you guys like this video and then help you in some way. If you did, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow with a new market update.